exactly who I was meant to be. I'm a big fish in a small pond, got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Who I am is fine with me.
Leo, I love that beginning part of our show when we're dancing.
I love that. I like when we're looking for our windows.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have to remember to go towards the yellow computer. Anyway, I believe we are live. Jim Bell just gave me the 30 seconds about 30 seconds ago.
Oh,
so, hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Oh, my God. Look at this. Rena Crignali-Berge from Massachusetts, my cousin, has popped on already. Happy Tuesday, Rena. It's not the same if you're not here. It just isn't. Mandar Chick Magnet has joined us from Chilltown, JC. Jim rang the bell. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Mandar. I do want to shout out and thank Jim Bell. He's our producer and engineer at Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com. So they're on all week and they're different shows. And when they don't have shows on, there's really cool music. It tends to lean 80s, which I love. So,
80s rule, man.
80s do rule. So you could always pop onto Armed Radio and stream it. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of different shows, something for everybody. And we are on from 9 to 10 on Tuesday nights. Okay, so that's going on. So I want to thank Jim. I also want to thank my accidental stage manager. He started off as an accidental intern. Then he graduated to accidental assistant. Now he is just, I can't live without him. The accidental stage manager, runs the show from Idlewild, California. Put your hands together for Leo Rivers. You got to roll your R's. Leo, I love your shirt. It's adorable.
Thank you.
It's adorable. Oh my God, that is such a.
You know what I say? It's all about love. So.
It is. Well, you do have a song. You wrote a musical called Broken Moments, and All About Love is one of the big songs, kind of the 10:30 number. I also noticed that last week when you made our promo, that was your song as well.
Yeah.
Right? That was really good. Oh my God, Jeffrey Campbell has joined us. He says, hey, Leo, beautiful. So we have some of our regulars has joined us, and you know how they are. They will all be popping on. So
says I grew an accidental beard.
Let me lower this. Okay, so I also like to use my phone, so I'm watching. You can watch us on the What's the Story with Maria page. You can also watch us on my personal page. And you are welcome to share the show to your page or any other page if you like. Hi, Jeffrey Campbell. Jeffrey Campbell made a beautiful video this week. Actually, I have to go and watch it. I haven't even had a chance to listen to it. Jeffrey, this week has been insane. And I'll tell you, it's good. Well, it's all good. It's good and challenging. I won't say it's good and bad. The bad news was that a lot of us were out of work. The great news is we're back at work. And that is fantastic. Leo, you are back at work. You are teaching camp in Idlewild. Leo showed me a promo he made for the school, for the camp. It's amazing with the kids.
I've got some wonderful, I like to play with kids. It's so much fun. And when you do video and stuff, they have imaginations and big old brains in there, which is.
Yeah, it's just endless. It's endless. Yeah. Kids are great. And you can see the joy in their eyes and their faces. So that video was amazing that you made. And I'm so happy that you're going to be teaching summer camp, which brings me to my next point. But Jeffrey, I am going to listen to that. I love to post Jeffrey's videos to my wall. So what I wanted to talk about was tonight is June 22nd. It is, of course, the first official day of summer. So I love summer. I love all the seasons. I love the seasons. So, and the change and all that. So tonight we're really going with a summer theme. And I have my John Coltrane shirt on tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yes. It's funny. For some reason, summer and jazz for me go together. When I was a kid, my dad he loved jazz. He was a huge jazz buff. And he used to blare it, and we'd open our windows. And so to me, like when I would hear jazz, it's like very summer, and those especially horns and stuff like that.
You know, I taught camp up north before before New York. I was up north, and in those woods where we had our camps, there was a jazz camp that they had there, and people would go off into the woods and just practice. I mean, you would hear everything. You would hear horns. You would hear strings. You would hear.
There's nothing that makes me happier than just hearing music like that, especially jazz. There's something about it that it shifts all my feelings around. You know, Chauncey Dandridge.
Range. What kind of jazz is your favorite, Maria?
You know, I won't say that I'm like. I don't know. You know, it has to be based in something. Like I like big band a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to like big band, but I love John Coltrane very much. He's probably my favorite. Of course, I do love Miles Davis as well. You can't love jazz and not. But I also like more traditional, like Ella Fitzgerald. I was talking to I was talking to the manager at Stonewall, and speaking of Stonewall, Chauncey Dandridge, our lights and sound guy and wonderful, my new friend. I love him. We work together on Monday nights. The manager there, his name is David. He's a huge jazz buff as well. We were talking jazz last week, and I said, the one voice that every single time I hear it, I stop and I say, who is that? Who is that? That voice is amazing. Every single time it's Ella Fitzgerald. Like if it's old, right?
It's wonderful. Smart. Oh, just so smooth and beautiful.
It's so beautiful. But then there's also jazz like the Holly Cole Trio from Canada that I love. You know, like there's newer, there's newer amazing people. So to me, like, and also, did you see the movie Soul?
I have not yet.
Well, get your box of
I am going to need 4 boxes of tissues, and I'm not ready for an emotional movement like that yet.
Yes, and I got to tell you, I was blown away by how advanced it was spiritually.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that I won't say they took a risk, because I think that's never a risk to do something like that. It's always such a great thing. But you talk about thinking outside the box and writing outside the box. But as a musician or as a performer, you see that movie and you are moved to tears because you identify with wanting to perform so badly.
Jamie Foxx's voice I heard. That was Jamie Foxx doing that character's voice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It was just incredible. I can't say enough about it. I'm actually going to watch it again. So,
that's a good idea. I need to watch it, and I'll.
Oh, you're going to love it. But there's so many things I need to watch. Like In the Heights is out now. I can't wait. They filmed it right in my neighborhood. I live right next to the bridge.
I think we have a couple of friends in it. I believe
we do have a couple of friends in it. So also we have a couple of friends in West Side Story as they were filming, because they filmed that in my neighborhood too. So I'm really excited. To me, this is the summer of love and the summer of music. It's going to be a great summer. I can feel it.
Regeneration.
It's a renaissance, and we're coming out. Well, I think we're out of the dark. I feel it in the Northeast we are.
And I love raisin sauce.
What?
Raisin sauce. Oh, Renaissance. Sorry.
What? Leo, you're silly. You're silly. But anyway, so that's what's going on now. Tonight we have 2 amazing people. I always, it's funny. Both of these people I've wanted to have on for so long, and we have tried to kind of get it together. There was different reasons why, sometimes their work. Oh no, Dominic Pupa says nudes. Dominic, must everything be about nudity? Apparently to him it is.
Something happened with him in a mirror today. Apparently, a mirror. It was a funny mirror at a fun house or a hotel or something like that.
Oh my! Well, a hotel could be a fun house. I mean, or scare, or it could be a house of horrors. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Cindy Craker has joined us. She's watching. John Pandish is watching. Hi, John Pandish. Of course, Dominic Pupa is watching as well. We have Jeffrey Mandor. So we have a lot of our regulars on.
Mandor asked, how about Charlie Parker?
Yeah, I guess I'd have to go back and re-listen more. There's a lot of music that sometimes I have to go and revisit.
Well, without Charlie Parker, we wouldn't have Birdland.
You're right.
Charlie Parker's Birdland, and I am fortunate to say that All About Love, we actually performed on the stage for Jim Crusoe's party on the stage, and just one of the most wonderful blessings that, thank God I'm alive in this world, to be able to stand on that stage and sing a song that, because Charlie Parker played his horn so well.
Wow. You know what? You just reminded me, there's another amazing place that I went to a couple of years back called the Red Rooster Tavern. It's on, I believe, 129, 126. Right? It's incredible. And downstairs, if you go downstairs, the main floor is food, but if you go downstairs, there's a jazz room, mind-blowing. And my new favorite jazz performer is Arturo O'Farrell. He's a musical director, and he plays piano like nobody's business. So he's my new, not new, maybe a few years. He's been around forever, but new to me. So, and he's a local guy, Cuban. So anyway, we could go talk about jazz forever, but we want to bring our guests on. So
they're in the green room. I don't know if they found the champagne yet, but
oh my God, it's in there. So we have two guests tonight, and both of them were people that I was trying to get on for years. We've been trying to make this happen, and just schedules didn't work out. But they happen to both be free tonight, and I'm so happy because it's summer. It's the first day of summer, and there's so much joy coming our way. I can feel it. I meditated a little bit before the show, and I could just feel joy is coming towards us. So it's great. So our first guest is one of my all-time favorite singers.
I gotta get ready for her.
You ready? Yeah, get ready, because she's a star.
Powerhouse.
Thank you. Powerhouse, but the sweetest kind of powerhouse.
You mean that Ladonna Burns?
Hello, Ladonna Burns. Oh my God, I cannot believe we got Ladonna Burns on the show. How did we do it? Finally, Ladonna. How many years have I been trying to get you on the show?
How many years have you been doing the show?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, yeah. And you worked for many years. You worked at Brandy's on Tuesdays with Michael
Tuesday nights. Yeah,
Tuesday night, so we can never really make that happen. And now finally we're doing the StreamYard thing, so it's working out. Honey, I'm so happy you're here. Okay, so we have so much. I want to tell everybody, and not to embarrass you, just because people need to know. So there's I'm a singer as well, and I love vocals, and I pay a lot of attention to vocals. But when you work in the business, you hear a lot of music, so you tune out quite a bit. But Ladonna's voice is one of those voices that there is no way on earth I could ever tune out Ladonna's voice. As a matter of fact, when I hear it, no matter what I'm doing, I put it down and I have to listen. I have to turn and actually listen. So I wanted to tell you that, Ladonna, because when your name comes up in any circle, I always have the same feeling, like, wow. Like your voice just makes me feel wonderful.
Thank you.
So I want to tell you that. And you're a diva, so you're in a category with a lot of other great divas that we all know. They're friends of ours. But I got to tell you, Ladonna, to me, there's something about you that just stands out. So I want
Maria.
It's the truth, honey. It's the truth. So I'm just thrilled that you're here. Now, I was like, look, because when I have guests, I always brush up, even though they're my friends. I didn't know that you were born in Indiana, and you're from
Indianapolis.
Okay, so is that where you got your music start and your love of music? Did it happen? Okay.
Born and raised in Indianapolis. I went to school in Michigan. I went to Michigan State for college, but then I went back to Indianapolis because I was going to med school.
Okay. All right. Here's my next thing. So always blows my mind. And Michael Isaacs brings it to my attention all the time. Because I'm your biggest fan. Michael Isaacs will fight over who's your biggest fan. But he'll say he is, and I'll say I am. But he's the one who told me, he said, that Ladonna is she went to school for biology. And
I have a degree in microbiology.
I mean, who the hell knew that? Michael Isaacs knew it.
I helped develop the HPV vaccine on one of my summer internships at Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical between my junior and senior year at college.
Oh yeah, like that's something everybody does in between. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't do things like that? LaDonna, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You should be really proud of yourself, honey.
Yeah, it's weird. People are always like, what? I have like at least 3 other lifetime careers, because when I was in Indianapolis, after I decided to drop medical school because they told me I had to eat, breathe, and sleep medicine.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's the way it's designed, right?
Yeah, and they're like, I said, I can't sing anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my question. First of all, Mario Davila has popped on. You know how much we love Mario.
Yes.
And so now that's my next question. So which came first, your love of my biology and science? You know, as a young girl in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
which did you have a first love? Were they science?
I always loved music.
Okay.
Always. In fact, when I was home recently, I was helping my mom clean out the garage. You know, you have all these papers and notebooks from when I was in school, and I was like in 7th or 8th grade. And our teacher said to us, "What job would you do if money was no object, if you could do anything?" And I wrote a whole essay about how I wanted to be a singer.
Wow.
In the essay, I was about 12, but in the essay I said, but I know it's not practical, so I'm just going to go to medical school instead. Like, that's easy.
Unbelievable. Now, what sign? When's your birthday?
Next month, July 27th. I'm a Leo.
Oh, of course you are. That makes so. My mother was a Leo.
Yeah.
Leo? Oh, not that kind of Leo. She's the sign Leo. She's very silly tonight. Leo is extra silly tonight. You know what? That makes total sense. Leos. It's so funny because my mom, I mean, she's been gone many years now, but she was an incredible, she designed, she made bridal gowns. She was an embroiderer and she worked very hard at that. But when I asked her, you know, like I interviewed her at one point in her life, mm-hmm. and she said that her secret wish was to be a stage actress. I was like, oh, really? So you just never know. But Leos are very practical.
Yeah.
And they're very grounded, but they're powerful. Leos are silently powerful.
Yeah.
So what's going on now? Now you are always singing. I know that, and you're always performing. Are you also still in the medical world in some way?
No. Okay. I totally, when I came out of school, I started medical school and was like, I was the most miserable I'd ever been in my life. And I'm really a pretty positive, happy person.
I know you are.
And so I was starting to get snippy with people. And so I went and auditioned for a production of Dreamgirls that was happening in Indianapolis. And got
right?
cast in it. And so I just remember having my parents were furious.
I can imagine.
And my oldest brother's like, but you don't understand. They thought you were going to be a doctor and they wasted money. And I said, huh? No one wasted money on me because I got a full ride to Michigan State.
You did?
Yeah. I didn't
mention that. So,
yeah.
Okay. So you could sing like nobody's business. You went to medical school. You're mm-hmm. sharp as a whip and you got a ride.
Full ride. In fact, at one point they were basically paying me because I became an RA. I was an RA for 2 years. So I was getting a check from the school because I had everything covered. And so I said, they didn't waste money on me. I mean, I paid my way through school just through doing my work like I was supposed to in high school.
Yeah. And that vaccine alone that you helped develop. I mean, come on. How many people have been affected by that? So many. Yeah.
And it's so crazy because Michael especially was looking at me when this whole pandemic happened because I know what making a vaccine looks like. And we started that vaccine. That was I don't want to give my age away, but that was in the 90s. That vaccine didn't come out till 2006. They can fast track something if they want to.
Right. That's an incredible point, LaDonna. So the HPV vaccine is mostly designed for women. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And young women, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is a whole other show, but this is so fascinating. So what you just said, they can fast track something if they want to.
if the target audience is someone they want to fix. But you know how they deal with women in medicine.
Oh my God. Wow. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
This is really amazing. Okay. So then we could talk about that forever, and we might have to, we're going to have to bring you back on that. Now that we can use StreamYard, it's so great. Okay. Yeah. So I want to, you worked at Brandy's that's how I met you for many, many years.
Like about 12 years.
12 years. Wow. 12 okay. Years. Longer than I thought. And I mean, because I thought it was about maybe, I don't know why. That's a long time. But like time flies in our business. It just flies.
Oh, yeah. And I know the date because I did All Shook Up with Greg Goodbroad. And that was the Christmas season of 2008.
Okay. Wow.
And when I was there, he's like, oh, you should come to Brandy's. I'm like, okay. I had never heard of it, had never been. And his birthday's in January. So when we got back, I went there for his birthday party. And he introduced me to Joe.
How great.
Donald, and Jimmy. And he said, you need to get up there and sing. And then next thing I know, they're like, oh, you want to give him a sub list? And then I never left.
Yeah, of course. They're not, listen, they're smart. They knew.
Yeah.
Now, are we getting, maybe we're getting an echo, I think. Sometimes we do. But anyway, all right. So the next thing is that you were in Caroline or Change. You were Caroline, right? Did you do Sophisticated Ladies as well?
I have never done that show, but I want to.
I don't know what. I do have to do that show.
I did Follies.
Okay.
And won an award for Follies playing Stella Deems, where I had to learn how to tap dance.
Really?
Yeah, because Stella's big number is a tap number. Mirror, Mirror. Who's that woman? That song is a big, and our friend Terry White did it in the revival on Broadway. That was her rolling. We know Terry White is a hoofer. She's like a legit tap dancer. And so
oh, there it is. Thank you, Leo. There it is. Wow.
When they approached me for it, because I didn't audition, the director was like, hey, what are you doing? Are you around? I said, okay. Do you want to do Follies? Okay. And I really looked real quick about what Follies really was. Because even though I do musical theater, I'm not a traditional musical theater girl.
Right. I understand.
Sondheim, okay.
Yeah.
And so I said yes. And then she said, by the way, can you tap dance? And I went,
sure.
I've tapped in 2 shows where they taught me the tap. So I can. And she goes, okay. And the choreographer was amazing, Sarah Bryans and Gabby, her assistant. And they had me looking like I tapped my whole life and I won an award for it. Like,
unbelievable. But listen, why would that surprise anybody? You were in medical school. You were an amazing singer. You helped develop a vaccine. You got a free. Why would learning a tap number be like, of course you learned to do it. Of course you won an award. But you know what I love about you, Ladonna? You don't toot your own horn, because I've never heard these stories before. I'm hearing them now, and I've known you for years.
And I've also worked in politics.
Ding ding! All my bells are going off. You got to tell us about that.
The job I had for 4 years, right before I decided to move to New York. This Memorial Day weekend was my 20th year anniversary of moving to New York.
Well,
so I moved Memorial Day weekend 2001, and for 4 years prior to that, I worked for the Indiana State House of Representatives. I was a legislative assistant for the House Democratic Party. So I had like 4 reps that I basically wrote speeches for, communicated with their constituents, dealt with the lobbyists, all that stuff. So I did that for 4 years while doing community theater and some professional theater in Indianapolis at night. So I worked there by day and then did theater at night.
That's incredible. Do you ever miss that? No. Okay. What's the best part of politics and what's the worst part of politics for you?
I met a lot of great people that really want to try and change things, but now I know the gritty ins and outs and how lobbyists pretty much run everything. No matter what people say they'll do is who's in their pocket. Right. Even the good people, lobbyists are who really run it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And it's just, I want to not believe that, but it's hard. It's hard.
It is what happens though. And I've seen too many good people try and get things done, and then they don't get it. And, you know, when I was working there, that was right around the time of Monica Lewinsky.
Wow, that's a while ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because remember, I moved here 20 years ago. So
That's right.
This is
Wow.
the late 90s. And I used to tell our interns all the time, like, look, don't let these politicians talk to you any kind of way. And we had a scandal in our own place because there was this one guy who really liked girls and was caught in a compromising position with one of our aides. He was Republican and they didn't turn him in. And he used to try and come for me all the time. Like he would see me, I would be in the back of the house. He would see me in the front and make a beeline and say stuff like, hey, how you doing today? And I was like, if you don't get away from me.
Wow.
And he was this big, super conservative Christian family values Republican, the biggest hypocrite of them all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. Who would have that kind of time to look into it? But they all, listen, I always feel like it's the guy or girl that makes the most noise about something that has the most to hide.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
I mean, you and I we could keep going. I'm fascinated by this conversation because I have so much to say, but I know that I'll just like keep going with it. But even some of the stuff that's happening, whatever, we'll talk some other time about it because it makes me crazy. But okay, so you are kind of a jack of all trades.
Definitely.
Right? And you're creative in many, many, many different ways. So also now another thing that I found out about you is that you are a pop rock instructor at New York Film Academy. Yes.
So I also teach. And yes, Manhattan School of Music, I taught pop rock there. And they just asked me back to teach acting the song to the sophomores this fall. So I'm finally branching out of being just the pop rock girl. And I'm going to all traditional musical theater too. So
that's wonderful.
I was like surprised. I'm like, oh my God, I'm coming back and it's not just pop rock. And so they trust me with those kids.
That's incredible. So these are sophomores. They go, oh my God, they're so lucky to have you.
Yeah, but when I taught pop rock for them the first time, it was seniors. But now I get them earlier.
But that's great. That's really great. Yeah, no, I think it's wonderful. They're going to love you. They're going to love you. They're so lucky to have you. And you know
I had a teacher that my counselors always wanted me to be a teacher.
Well, I'm sure you're an incredible. How can you not be a good teacher if you have such a love of knowledge and taking it in? And also, you're not just someone that learns, you're someone that does amazing things with what you learn. It's one thing to memorize something. It's one thing to get through classes. It's even one thing to like get all A's and B's or whatever. But to actually internalize what you've learned now and put it back out there into the world and do good with it, that's a whole other level. And that's the kind of person that you are. So, now these kids get you as a teacher and they get to be inspired by that. Not just someone that is talking the talk, but you're living it. You're living that.
They get to see me work.
Yeah.
Like I had a group come and see me. Yep.
Where's that, Chris? Oh my God, that was at 54 Below?
Yeah, I had a good string of concerts there. Robert Schneider, who also works with me at New York Film Academy, produces a lot of shows there, and he would just ask me all the time. But that one came because people saw me there. That was a tribute to Rusty.
Wow.
And so I learned that song. The guy playing the piano is Danny Lincoln, who is my accompanist at New York Film Academy from a pop rock class.
Oh, great. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
I know that room's coming back really soon. A lot of the rooms are coming back soon. Let me just check to see what people are saying. So Hector Garcia is watching. Greg Conrad is watching. I just want to make sure Cheryl Giuliani Rubenstein is watching. She's in LA. So this is awesome. Found one of her Okay, so Mandar, one of our great friends and our regulars. This is awesome. He said we found one of the performance videos. Yeah, you can. You want to look up Ladonna. Ladonna, do you have a website or?
That's something I'm working on. I got to put it
Okay.
all together. I have all these videos to cobble together because
Yeah. And
you
also
can find me there though.
Facebook and YouTube.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Leo's got it. He is on it. Oh my God. Okay. So, and just recently you did something in the city, live performance.
I just did two live projects. I was doing the Blues Brothers out in the Radio Park, which was a cinemmersive project where they'd show the movie and then they would cut away from the movie and we'd do the big numbers in person with a cast of Broadway greats.
Amazing.
And I just finished Broadway Inspirational Voices. We had our first in-person concert.
And I saw that because of course I follow like all my friends and what they're doing. And you're one of those people that I always, what is it, Leo?
I have a question. You said Blues Brothers, was that, so you did Think? Aretha Franklin's Think?
I was one of the Blues sisters, so I sang backup. My good friend Charity Dawson did Think, but I have sung Think before at 54 Below for the Aretha tribute. I was brought in to be the Shaka Khan feature during Old Landmark at the beginning when they're at the church with James Brown.
Yeah, people have no idea, Ladonna, what Ladonna does. It's just, I mean, people do, but I'm saying a lot of our radio listeners, please do yourself a favor and look up Ladonna Burns. So that's Ladonna Burns, Burns. So look Ladonna up. There's so much that she's doing and so much that she will continue to do. So here's what we're going to do, Ladonna. We're going to bring on Ike. We're going to put you back in the green room, bring on Ike, and then we're going to bring you back on in like 15 minutes. And then we'll all talk about performing live because Ike is getting back there and he's a comedian. And so it's like a whole other world, but it's also live performance.
Yeah.
So, and that is coming back. It's roaring back. So Ladonna, now you have opened up a whole can of worms here that I cannot put a lid back on it. Yeah, I could talk to you for days on end. So you're going to have to come back at some other point again, make another trip. But
definitely.
But today, don't go far.
I won't. I'll
Okay.
be here.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my friend, an amazing multitasker, master of many things, Ladonna Burns. She's going to come right back. Woohoo! Wow. That's what I'm talking about.
When I grow up, I want to be Ladonna Burns.
Right. So you see this, what you're feeling right now? You see how your hair's standing on it? Oh. That's what I feel every time Ladonna sings. I don't care what the hell I'm doing. I don't care where I am. If Ladonna starts singing, I literally, my body knows better than to do anything else.
I can't believe I missed her in Caroline or Change, or I wasn't able to see it because I bet that is just the fiercest thing to see.
Yeah, and there's a million other things she's done, just like a million other things. BJ and Smokey Joe's. I mean, just like a million things. Anyway, I love her. She's just a beautiful person. Yeah, there are a lot of divas in this town, a lot, and they're all talented, but everybody has something different, and Ladonna's just like something different going on there.
Are there any funny divas out there?
Oh well, there's always room for funny divas and cute boys. So we need to bring in our friend Ike Avelli. Oh my God! Look at you, ray of sunshine.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Right. Ike, this outfit is outstanding.
My niece actually made it when she was 15 years old.
No.
Yeah.
Nieces are amazing.
Rainbows.
I have two nieces. Ike, you're going to love this story. I'm going to tell you quickly. Yeah. And you'll appreciate it as a comedian. My nieces are in their 20s now. But when they were in high school, they said, Zia, we just want to let you know that we're in the Spectrum Club. And I was like, oh, what's that, honey? The Spectrum Club. They said, it's for gay people and friends of gay people. And I thought when I was a kid, that was like the drama department. But now, right?
Right. I mean, how different, right?
So different. And now look at your nieces are making you rainbow outfits.
Well, that's the funny thing. You should say that because when I was growing up, you couldn't say the word gay.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid you say don the gay apparel in a Christmas song on stage and everybody's like whimpering and laughing in the background.
Right.
But my niece, here she is. I'm telling her I'm gay. And she goes, I had a feeling when you were picking out mommy's panties at Victoria's Secrets.
No.
And no problem. It's amazing to me.
Isn't it incredible? Like this new generation, they're so they're just so open to everything, and they're not judgy at all.
No, nope. I mean, you're still gonna get a couple. But...
Well, yeah, but those are just I mean, that's always gonna happen.
Yeah.
So Ike, you're doing a million trillion things now.
Thank God. What the hell was last year?
You always had like lots of things going on, and then of course we all know COVID happened and everything shut down. But you have also always had a lot going on. So tell us, you want to start with what you're doing now?
Sure, yeah. Last year, again, as you said, everything shut down. We had a big tour going on with my show 50 Shades of Gay, and thank God, back again. And we are traveling not as much as we were last year because everything just started opening back in April.
Right.
So we're doing the Triad Theater here in New York City, August
which
7th.
I love. I love that theater.
Oh God, amazing!
It's a great space.
Amazing. So it's wonderful. I got Tim Moss, who you know.
I love Tim. Tim he lives like 7 blocks from me.
Yes.
We meet in the park sometimes. He's so cute. Okay, so this is, so is this what you're doing here?
50 Shades of Gay at the Triad. Yep.
Okay, when is that happening?
This one, Saturday, August 7th. You can get your tickets at triadnyc.com. It's an adult variety show. Come out. Maria, you have to come.
What I have to go. I'm going to go. Okay, so tell us, what does that mean, an adult variety show? What does that mean to the listener?
Think Carol Burnett, but a little bit more raunchy.
I love it.
Yeah, a little bit more. So we have everything. We have comedy, music, drag, sketches. We have audience participation, giveaways from sponsors.
Oh my God, this sounds amazing.
Yeah.
You have to do me a favor. Right before, maybe like 2 weeks before this actually happens, will you post it on my Facebook wall?
Sure.
Like just post it on, and then I will share it to my show wall so that we can remind people about it.
Yes.
Because I find sometimes that, it's always good to remind people just before. Yeah. Again, even though they know about it now, but oh my God, we got to get out there. That's fantastic.
And that's the thing, Marie. It's mindless fun, and I think we all need that right now.
100%. 100%. So now, tell me about how comedy. Like, were you always a funny kid, or were you a shy kid? How did comedy come to be your gift?
Well, I kind of knew in school. I was kind of imitating like the teachers. The kids were loving it, so I got that energy from them, and it kind of sparked. I really didn't do anything until I was probably 43 when I first hit an open mic.
Really?
Yeah. But I watched Joan Rivers. I watched Rodney Dangerfield, Phyllis Diller, the greats.
The greats. Ike, let me interrupt just for a minute. We were just recently talking about Joan Rivers. And I thought to myself, because I actually said this to a young man last week who was so over the top sensitive about something. And I said, listen, honey, he had just come out and he was so extra sensitive about everything. I said, you know what you need to do as a young gay kid? You need to go back and listen to some Joan Rivers, because you have no idea. Like that, she's class. That's comedy.
Oh,
everybody's going to be offended.
Yeah.
But I feel like I wish she was around right now.
Oh, me too. Can you imagine? She still would get away with it.
Of course, she's the only one that would get away with it. But I really miss the things she used to say that so many of us were thinking.
Yeah, all the time.
And you would be like beat red from her saying. You'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she said that." But you would burst out laughing.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And you know what the thing is I think today the comedians that are out there, they're not like Joan. Joan was brilliant. She knew how to set a joke up, and she made fun of herself. She made fun of herself first, and then opened the gate for everybody else.
Absolutely.
And that's what I kind of do too.
Yeah, I know. I love it. Now, you did shows at the Duplex for many, many years.
Yes, I started at the Duplex. I did my first open mic. I think it was Michael Brill was hosting, and then it was.
Oh, I love Michael.
Yeah, amazing, right? And then Poppy Kramer, God rest her soul.
We love Poppy. I'm still in denial.
Yeah,
and I will always be in denial about
that. That was a bad year.
That
bad
was
year.
a bad year.
We lost Robin Camille. We lost Poppy Kramer. There were so many.
Yeah. Some years are like that. It's like it just sweeps through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just talking to my friend Susie about this, how it's just some years are like that. And there's nothing you can do except take it and say, I'm going to live my life and I'm going to live it to the fullest.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
So, but you have so many shows, honey, always going on. You're always doing something.
Yeah, well, right now I have a podcast with Tim Moss called Loose Lips.
Yeah.
We do that every 2 weeks. It's a fabulous time. We come on, we talk, we have a special guest on, and then we have these great segments. One is called "What the hell did I just put in my mouth?" and
I love it.
We try different foods from small businesses that
cool.
During COVID, we sample them online, give them props, and
how great.
Push them on the show.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And why not? And the thing about COVID is that's all we were doing was eating. I mean, that's all we were doing.
Maria, I gained so much. I can't even tell you.
No, honey, I gained at least 25 pounds.
30.
At least. I know. And then, then I would lose 10. Then I would go back up. Then I would just give up. Then I would have a crying fit. And finally, I just bought bigger pants. I was just like, stop it. Just buy bigger pants and shut the hell up.
Nike is so happy I'm buying. Like, I got stock in Nike right now because everything is loose. Sweatpants.
Yeah, but listen, I was in Old Navy today and everything has an elastic waist. And you know what? They're smart.
Yeah. Oh, and
they're smart to do that. Now, what is this new thing you're doing? This Shut Up and Drive.
Oh, Shut Up and Drive. So Eileen Shapiro, who is an amazing journalist, she writes and wonderful stories on all the amazing. And I love that you talk about music.
Of course.
80s was my huge thing too.
Oh,
but
I loved it.
She knows everybody in celebrity nightlife. She knows Cyndi Lauper, Adam Ant, Sandra Bernhard, you name it.
Oh, really? How cool.
She interviews them. So I came up with this idea that why don't we drive around New York City, pick up these people on their way to their gigs, and do a really over-the-top interview with them. So we're gonna start filming in the summer, and we're going to release it out.
That's amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's going to be so great. And that's another thing. Also, post this on my wall right before you launch it, okay?
Yes. We got to pick you up, Maria, for sure.
Oh, my God. Anytime, Ike. Anytime. And I have 5,000 jobs now. I'm like that crazy person.
Yeah.
I'm working at Stonewall on Mondays.
Right.
I'm working at the Duplex on Wednesday. I'm working at Brandy's on Fridays, and I pick up a lot of Saturdays. It's crazy. It's like that nutty life that we live. We're back to it.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood is right. Now, here's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I would love to bring Ladonna back on.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, there she is.
Ladonna.
And Leo. Isn't she beautiful?
Hi.
How are you, beautiful?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm telling you, we are in a room full of more talent than we could even stand right now. Leo Rodriguez. Oh, my God. There he is.
Hey, Leo.
Leo is I would be lost without Leo. Okay, so this is the part of our show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. Because every week I cannot just ask my creative friends to come on and talk about their creative sides. I have to stay creative because otherwise I'm just a hypocrite, just walking around interviewing my talented friends. So I always cook. Every week I cook. So this week I went with a summer theme because today is the first day of summer. Right. So what did I make today? So I went with a whole summer theme. Now you're going to be a little jealous.
Put on the bib. You're going to drool.
I know you're going to be a little jealous, but I was at Acme today in Jersey and they were having a huge sale on lobster, which I know, Ladonna, I know. Because I know that you like seafood like I like seafood. So what did I make tonight? I made a steamed lobster.
Oh my God.
I know, but it was on sale for $6.99 a pound.
What?
Exactly. It's usually like $15 a pound, $6.99 a pound. So I bought 2 of them. But anyway,
I hope they didn't catch them in the Hudson River.
You know what? Maybe that's why they're on sale, Ike. Oh my God. I'm going to eat it anyway. I don't care. I don't need to know where things come from. There are some things a girl does not need to know.
Right.
So here's my beautiful lobster. Now, these chips, I got to tell you about these chips. They're special. If you go to Trader Joe's, they have this new chip called You like Trader Joe's, Ladonna?
I am a Trader Joe's fanatic. I belong to several groups.
Me too. Okay. So their newest chip, which is my favorite, is called Everything But the Bagel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it's everything that would be on an everything bagel, plus the chips are super buttery. Don't even ask me how they do this, but it's my favorite chip. So everything but the bagel chips there. Now, sticking with the summer theme, I made a salad of romaine lettuce, grape tomatoes, scallions, so chives, let's call them chives, and red peppers, and I'm going to put, and red cabbage. Leo Rodriguez introduced me to rice vinegar.
Rice vinegar is everything.
I have never tried it before, and Leo uses it quite a bit. And so it's used in Japanese cuisine, extensively, and I love it. So I'm doing that with an avocado oil. That's going to be right, girl. All right. Now, what did I go with for a salad? Because as you heard, I was talking to Ike, and I can't fit into anything. So I'm trying to be better. So I went with a nice, and also it is gay pride. So I went, Ike, for you with a fruit salad.
Look, take a bite, Maria.
That's it. I mean, I'm like, Ike's going to be on the show. I'm going for the fruit salad.
I love it. What a great presentation. I have to
delicious.
come over.
So that I love to cook. But now I haven't had anyone back in the studio for, since COVID for over a year. But really soon what I'm thinking, because I used to have a lot of musician parties and I would cook up a storm. So I'm thinking this summer I'm going to have a big musicians party and you're invited. Okay. I will let you know. And we just all come in and I cook a ton of food and then we just all sit around and sing for days on end. It's the best. Yeah, and I'll have you and Tim Moss, because Tim literally is my neighbor. He's bought sauce for me because that's one of the things that happened in COVID. I started making. Oh, Ladonna, you had some of my sauce.
Look, that sauce.
You actually ordered it for Valentine's Day.
I sure did. I had a really good Valentine's Day because of it.
All right, okay, good.
Maria, I think I'm going to have to do what did you just put in my mouth on my next show and use your sauce.
Ike, I will definitely, I'll deliver it to you. I have marinara, I have bolognese, I have meatballs, and spicy sausage is my new one.
I know I have to get the spicy sausage because the meatballs were.
Oh my God. And as Mario Davila always says, who doesn't like a spicy sausage? It's true.
Have we seen that commercial recently? Have you guys seen that commercial?
I saw it.
I can't stop laughing. Mario's our manager at Brandy's. He's so funny. So finally one night I just recorded him doing a
Wow. Look at this sauce here. I mean, it looks good. The ingredients look good. Everything looks good. The container looks good. Everything looks really nice. But, I don't know. Is it any good?
Is it any good? A fucking face is on it.
That is fabulous.
That's hysterical because he always says that. He goes,
I love it.
He's so funny. But anyway, so yes, Ike, you know what? I will. Just let me know where to drop it off, and I'll send you samples of all the different sauces.
Myself, Tim and I will stop by, pick them up, and we'll try them on the show.
I have met Tim in the park, literally 2 blocks down, and we have. I've given him sauce. He's adorable.
Yeah, amazing.
So, my God,
Maria has resorted to dealing sauce in the park.
You know what's? I'm telling you, that's what girls got to do. What a girl's got to do. You got to have hustle in the world. You live in New York City. You got to have hustle.
So you're
I
lucky,
repurposed
Maria.
my
You're
sauce
getting ready. You're
container.
getting it taken from
You
me.
did?
Yeah, I use your sauce container for when I buy basil for my my caprese salad. And because I can because the way to keep basil to stay a little longer is put a little water at the bottom and then just stick it, and it keeps longer that way.
You're absolutely right. I love that you reuse that container. But of course you did. Of course you did. That makes a total sense. But I just feel like those of us that are creative, and all of us here are, that even though we had to stop doing what we were doing, it's like you can't keep light in a jar. You just can't.
Right.
It's gonna seep out.
Yeah.
And so what? Let's go with this. We have about 10 minutes. What was something that came out of COVID that you didn't expect, like creatively speaking, that came out of COVID that you didn't expect? And it doesn't have to be like a big project or anything. Just maybe something you found out about yourself that creatively that you didn't even know. Ike, you want to go first? Oh, go ahead.
Ike.
Ike, you go.
Yeah. I of course, I had all the gigs lined up, and I thought, oh my God, I'm not sure when I'm performing. And I thought, why not do a virtual show, which I did for 14 weeks, and learning the technology and how to do Zoom. And I learned a lot, and I wound up doing 14 weeks of a show called Live in Bed with Ike Avelli, having 6-7 guests a week.
I mean, how crazy is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a lot of work, but it probably didn't even feel like work, did it?
It sometimes with the technical issues it did.
Yeah, the technical stuff is always.
When you're on stage too, and then as a comedian, as a singer, Ladonna, you probably know you could sing till your heart's content. Everybody's paying attention. But when you're telling a joke and you have to mute everybody and you can't hear them laughing, it's like I'm bombing every night.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That's my least favorite part about virtual.
Yeah.
Is that you can't get that audience thing that comes right back at you, you know? But yeah, that's amazing. It's the things we learned while we were, because like I said, there's no way to just, it's not like, okay, well, we can't be creative. That's it. Put it away. You can't.
No.
You know, it's going to come out some way. So that's what you did. That's incredible.
Yeah, but you know what, too? And a lot of people that I did speak to, drag performers, comedians, singers, about like midway into this whole pandemic, a lot of them were saying like, oh my God, am I going to be funny when I get back on stage? Am I going to be able to interact? And you get nervous. You really do, because it's a whole year. Yeah.
And you start to question yourself. It's like any other muscle. Ladonna, did you find singing? Because as a singer, I got to tell you, I was shocked at how my voice just almost like just kind of contracted.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I had said when it first started, I was like, oh, I'm going to warm up still every day. I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I had at least around the holidays, I don't think I sang a note for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of by all that equipment, microphones, ring lights, backdrops. I learned how to use iMovie and GarageBand because I did a lot of recordings at home, especially with Broadway Inspirational Voices. We did a lot of in-home recordings where we record our stuff and then we'd have to shoot videos at home. So I had to learn quickly how to use GarageBand, and it was a lot. And so at a point I was just like, I don't feel like doing any of this.
Right.
Because what I love about performing live, you do it and you're done. Yeah. I'm too much a perfectionist for having to do self-tapes because I'm like, oh, I did one note wrong. Like I shoot things at least 15 times because I'm so critical of it. And so I'm glad to be back to live performances.
Yeah, me too. And it feels great. But going back to what Ike was saying is that if you, even as a singer or comedian, whatever it is, I didn't realize how much I relied on that circle of energy.
Oh yeah.
And when it wasn't there, it was just this flat, like screen of nothing. All of a sudden my brain took over and started chopping me down. Like, you're not funny. You're not talented.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear this. And then you have to look at yourself while you're doing it. So you're like, why do I do that why do I always make that fit?
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God. So critical.
100%.
So critical.
Whereas if you're just looking out to the audience and you're just like a vessel, I mean, as a singer, and as a comedian too, like, you know, like I'm sure things just shoot into your head that you didn't even think were going to come in because of what's coming at you. Right.
Yeah. Well, too, with me, I was starting to write a lot of COVID jokes, nothing major, you know, about my weight gain and, you know, people talking on the phone now, like, what the hell is going on? You know, it used to be text. Now people are actually picking up the phone.
Right.
And what am I supposed to say? Where am I running to? I can't hang up.
Right.
It's true.
So I'm just writing those jokes. And then, you know, you're sitting there and you're thinking, then the Joan Rivers mentality comes in. And if they don't laugh, you're like, you know, I thought that was funny when I wrote it. Right.
It's true, though. It's like that. I mean, for me, like because my brain never shuts off anyway, like ever. It's crazy. But so that's what I started to do. And I had to really like do a lot of, in the beginning of COVID, I was really kind of losing my mind. Like I had to write. Like for me, I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. Like I would go to Google Docs and just write stream of consciousness, anything I was thinking. Because I was terrified of being trapped in my own head.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
So
that's creative.
yeah. But LaDonna, for you, you said it was like the garage band and all that stuff that you had to learn. That's what came out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at it now, though. I'm confident to make like videos and audition videos now.
Yeah. And Leo, what were we going to say, honey?
I got it. I mean, all the stuff that we had to learn over the year, it just was really.
Right. Well, the thing is, I used to do the show in my apartment and people would come over and, you know, we'd do it that way. And then when we couldn't do it that, you know, then I had people calling in and I had them on the phone literally. And so I was holding it to the microphone. And then it was Leo's idea because it's a radio show that I just happened to Facebook Live. It goes through the radio. So I have like 2 computers going and all this. And Leo was like, well, why don't we try this new thing called StreamYard? You want to? And thank God for him. Yeah. But now it's so cool because people can come in from all over the country or the world.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the cool things that came out of it.
Well, that was the hard part with Zoom. I mean, Zoom was great, but then there was also the bombers that used to come in. And they used to remember?
Yes, I do.
And I was doing the show, and then somebody would come in, and then it would just trickle down, and you had to try to remove them, and then they had to do the passwords, which wound up helping. Yeah,
that felt so violating.
Yeah,
wasn't that awful? That was an awful. That was in the beginning. You're right. Yeah. And listen, that went for everything because I mean, I go to even AA meetings on Zoom now. Yeah. You know, and I mean, I was doing it even in the beginning because we were like, you know, I've been sober for 31 years, so I go to a lot of meetings. But I got to tell you, people were bombing constantly, and I'm like, this is really creepy.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, I teach through Zoom. That's how I haven't gone back to in-person teaching yet. Wow. And so we definitely had to password protect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like that, LaDonna? Did you like the Zoom teaching?
I don't, because the way I run my class, we like to like help them develop their audition piece. And so like we'll rearrange the music on the spot, change keys on the spot. You can't do that with Zoom. They have to have track tapes made before class, and it's not the same.
Right. And then the lapse, the time lapse with the delay music.
Well, it's not bad because that's why they use track tapes, so the tracks are on their side.
Okay.
But then sometimes everyone doesn't, you know, it really showed how everyone isn't equally economically.
Yes.
And so it was really sad to see some students like having to hide in their closets because they have other siblings in the house. And then I have some students in these palatial estates by the pool and balcony.
I had 15 kids in the community center with their laptops, different ages, different grades, doing different things. And teachers trying to communicate with us in the after school program because they couldn't go to school or there's nobody there to watch them. So it was personal connection is such an important part of teaching, you know?
Yeah. You know, because I was teaching when, because I also teach, and when it first happened, we were still teaching in that semester. So I think there was about 4 weeks left. And one of the things that I did like about the Zoom teaching was that because a lot of my kids were really little, I got to meet their parents as well on Zoom.
Oh.
Yes.
So that was cute, and that they were so proud to like show you other things that I wouldn't have learned about, like their pets. You know, there were times when they were like their cat would run across the screen or something. You know, or their dog, or whatever. So I started to use that a little more. You know, where everybody, and I taught a few classes on OutSchool, like some writing classes, and I just used everything they had. You know, so that actually was something good that came out of it. But I don't know if you folks felt like this, but I did most of it just because I was in a panic. Like
Oh.
my brain was in a panic.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
tried to use everything I had,
Mhm.
you know. So I don't know if that, you know, hopefully, and that's what I want to close the show with. So let's leave it with this because we could talk for hours. You guys, thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you.
just amazing. What an amazing show. Like
Yeah.
this could just go on and on. And you're both
Yeah.
so interesting and talented and like electric and in
Aw.
such a calm way, if that makes
And I have
sense.
to tell you, you've been a friend in my head, Maria, for years, and I've been wanting this to happen, and I'm so glad.
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you, Ike, and I'm so glad that you were able to do it. And so let's just leave with everybody leave something. We'll start with Ladonna and leave something for these people out there. Just something of hope that you want to leave everybody with as a creative person.
After such a tragic thing like this pandemic, great art always comes from it. So look forward to the Renaissance. Artists are back. We're back performing again. And you're not going to take it for granted anymore, I believe. So enjoy when you see a live performance.
Okay, and Ike, go ahead.
I'm going to be simple. There's something that I had to think about for the whole year. And it usually just tell people, be you, be creative, and be positive.
Okay, thank you. So I just got the signal from the radio station. That is our show. I want to thank Jim Bell. He's our producer and engineer. I want to thank Leo Rodriguez. He is our stage manager. Ike Avelli, Ladonna Burns. You are both a joy to be around. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you Tuesdays at 9 every week. Come back. Thank you.
Bye.